What's going on, guys? I was just randomly like posting something to my Instagram stories, and like I started thinking about how I never really talk about my House of Joseph brand. And like, I think the reason why is because it's been going so well. It's been steady and going well, and it's been afloat since I started it. But I've been talking a lot about cloth and craft boutique, and that's because I'm trying to get it to really launch and take off, using all the skill set that I have launching my first brand, House of Joseph Co. And I was like, you know what, sometimes I tell the story but I never really show anything, so I kind of wanted to show you briefly of what I'm talking about and how I started this thing completely from scratch. I always say that when I started House of Joseph, I had $50 in my pocket left. I got on YouTube and was trying to figure out how the hell can I start a brand, or how can I launch my brand, and the best way to do it. And the first thing that I bought was a Tussie heat press, a 15 by 15 Tussie heat press from Amazon.com. And I think it was like around 100, and I think I got it used for like $120. It was on sale. And after that, I had enough money to spend like 30 to 40 bucks, I believe, on some vinyl. And from there, I had like $50 left. Only had one design, and I was like, I'm just gonna see how it goes. And I kind of want to show you that in my first month, I don't even remember having a sale. But when I looked at the statistics that I could still pull, I was like, holy crap. And I think even from the statistics, no, it's actually the case. So I kind of want to show you guys something. Right. This is my first year. August 19th is when I started, August 2020. And I kind of want to show you revenue. This is the revenue that I made in the first year with a Tussie heat press. The first year, 37 bucks. September to October, 359. November, 270. December, 401.25. January 2020, 517. February, 275. March 20th. March 2020, 265. April 2020, 704. This is when I guess it really started to take off. May 2020, 793. June, 3,426. July, $713. In August, coming full circle, $5,218. Now, the reason why I kind of wanted to show that is because I said it before and I said it again. Like, I always thought that I made like 10,000 until I actually looked at the statistics, and it was 18. Now, that's gross revenue. I don't know if I believe Etsy just puts just gross revenue before, not even, I was trying to see if it like takes away all of the the taxes and the shipping fees and stuff like that. I don't think it does that. I think it just gives you the gross revenue. Now, the thing is that it wasn't until probably that May or June, I think it was June. It wasn't until that June when I had made that first $3,426 that I decided that what I really needed to add to my business was a Glowforge. That Glowforge that you see over there. It's a Glowforge Plus. I decided that I needed to do it, and it was a very risky choice because at that point in time, $3,400 was the most I had ever made at any single time ever. And I decided to do it. Up until this point, I had only been using a Tussie heat press and vinyl to make money. And then by then I had made several different designs that I could use for vinyl, but it wasn't until then where I decided I'm going to buy the Glowforge. That Glowforge was like 30, and I got it on credit. I think I used a firm. I was able to qualify for a firm. I used the firm, and eventually I paid it off within like 7 months the next year. Because as you can see, the next following month I had made $5,700 for July, and then August I made $5,200. And I got to look at the trend, how it went. I'll touch on that in another video, but I just remember that I did have enough money and I paid it off within like 7 or 8 months. And that was the second thing that I really added to my business that really made the business take off, because I was able to do things like that, just, home item things, and jewelry, because I really wanted to do jewelry and wooden jewelry and acrylic. And so, I just wanted to kind of make this video short and kind of sweet, because I wanted to show people that you can launch a brand. You can do things with the very bare minimum. Like I said, I had $50 left in my I had $50 left in my account, and I didn't even make shit the first month. I made $37, and then it kind of just went from there. And I just remember my wife was like, you can't spend any of the bank account money. Whatever money you get, it's gonna have to come from whatever's left out of the rest of the bills, like whatever is left, like you're gonna have to take some of it. Because I do remember I would take some. I would be like, oh, I need to take like $20. I need to take like $40 here, 40. And then she's like, you can't take money from the bank account anymore. If you cannot sustain the business, then you just cannot. You're gonna have to stop it. So I was under pressure to make this thing work, and I initially just got into it because when I really started following the commandments and keeping the commandments of God, I don't know, I just seeing a lot of the products that were out there that I needed to be able to keep some of those commandments, as far as like attire and apparel. Like I always just felt like, damn, it's so much money. Like I just felt like I could make my own stuff and I wouldn't have to spend that much. So initially when I got into it, it was because I wanted to make stuff that I wanted to wear, that I thought was more stylish and could do the job. And so that's how I ended up launching the brand and where it's at today. Now, this was amazing because I was doing so well until COVID hit, and then COVID took a lot of people out, and I was able to survive. But during that process, when everything was going good and then all of a sudden it went bad, I had to use a lot of credit to stay afloat. And eventually I was able to kind of mellow out and it got steady again. But that's business. It goes up, down, down. You're gonna have good times, you're gonna have bad times. And each time that I had a bad wave, I was able to remain afloat. And that's all praises to the Most High, because I realized that he can do whatever he wants. You know what I mean? I have no control. And I'm very humble till still today, because I realized that it's him, and by the grace of this business that I'm able to sustain myself and sustain my family. And I don't make a lot of money at all. I just make enough money to put food on the table. And now that I've recovered a bit, I'm able to, like I said, go back to work, because I realized that your first investor is always your first job, or your job. So I'm able to go back to work and able to provide more for my family at this point, and not have to rely on the business to stay afloat or to pay all the bills. And so I'm looking forward to moving to that next chapter, because like I said, once I'm starting to work again, all that business money I won't have to worry about spending on the daily things. That'll just be going into the bank account, and I'll be able to pay off a lot of that debt without having to worry about using it to incur more debt or anything else. So you can do this. You can start a brand as long as you are focused and you have a plan. I didn't have anybody to help me I didn't have anybody to tell me where to go to get resources as far as like shirts and things of that nature. My dad was the only one that showed me how to start an S Corp and to get my Texas business sale license to be able to buy wholesale. That was really the key, because I no longer had to go to certain companies without a wholesale license to buy clothing to be able to print on. That was at a higher level. Once you get that wholesale license, you're able to get, you're able to get shirts and whatever it is that you're trying to print on or use for much cheaper than the average person that is going to, like, for Walmart, for example. So if you go to Walmart and you're paying like $6-7 for a blank white Gildan tee, if you have your wholesale license, you're able to get that for way less, like $3 and some change. So it makes a big difference when you get that license. And I'm gonna go more into it because, like I said, I think that it would be really, really beneficial for anybody that's looking to start and trying to figure out what it's actually like within your first 12 months, or what it could be like within your first 12 months of business, and how you have to have patience. And yeah, that should tell you the story that even though it's not going good at first, you got to stick with it, and you got to truly believe in what you're doing to make it, to really make it work. See it through to the end. And you're going to have a lot of bumps. You're going to have a lot of headaches. You're going to have a lot of uncertainty times. And like I said, and if you're lucky, people may help you. If you're not, you got to just figure it out. And I've had to figure it out every single step of the way, how to get business partners, as far as like how to learn how to connect, how to collect resources that I need for the Glowforge, how to, where to go to buy wholesale wood so I can cut on different types of wood that are more valuable than just your regular ply and stuff like that. I had to figure all that out. Where can I get walnut? Where can I get cherry? Where can I get these things? Everything that I needed, you know what I mean? Everything that I needed, I had to figure it out by myself. And so again, you can do this. At times you're gonna have to make sacrifices, and you can't quit on yourself. You know what I mean? So I think it's all going to depend on what you feel like you have to lose. And I felt like I had a lot to lose. I felt like I had a lot to prove as well. And I'm still doing it. And like I said, I'm fighting really, really hard to launch this second brand because I believe in it. So watch me work. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.